Welcome to day 4 of our 5-day pain release series. If you've ever thought that your body is getting weaker as you're getting older and you want to stop that loss, you want to make sure that you maintain muscle mass as you get older, especially a busy parent that wants to enjoy life to the fullest, not watch from the sidelines, and ultimately not be a burden to your kids and also to your family long term. Make sure to stick around and also to subscribe, click that bell notification so you don't miss out on any content, because we do post videos weekly Mondays at 5 p.m. So make sure to stick around because I'm going to share with you guys a concept called progressive overload, and I'm going to share this exactly step by step how any exercise that you do in your own life that can be progressed and you can actually see viable results, from building muscle mass to actually seeing the numbers go up and up, and doing that in a fashion that's injury free. So make sure to subscribe and let's get into it now. So the concept of progressive overload is basically aiming for higher intensity and higher volume in order to stimulate further muscle growth or even strength adaptations. And the reason why that might be helpful in your own pain relief journey is because if we are always thinking about, again, some of the things we talked about in our previous days, from manual therapy, which doesn't really teach you how to get rid of pain yourself, or let's say you're doing constant stretches, which, like I said, if you do that long term, can actually make you weaker and more vulnerable to injury. Progressive overload is going to do the opposite. It's actually going to get you much stronger as a busy parent. It's going to bulletproof your body so that when you're holding your kids on your neck, or when you're holding them with your arms, your back, your neck, and all these other areas, you're like, man, I'm just getting old. I'm feeling sore after being out for a long period of time and doing so much with my kids, is that you have greater capacity to do more things. So imagine if you got the concept of progressive overload, where you're strengthening every part of your body. And this is why it's so important, because if we're not building our endurance, building our capacity, and building our peak strength up, is that we're going to be making ourselves more vulnerable to injury, strain, or at the end of the day, just having this more ongoing constant pain where you have to kind of reset yourself, sleep, and then hopefully feel a little bit better the next day. That's going to be kind of just create this vicious cycle where you're hurting yourselves, then resting, and then trying to rebuild your body. Instead, let's talk about how progressive overload is going to be added into your routines. And I'm going to share with you guys just a couple exercises and how I'm currently progressing those exercises as well. So at my home gym, I've obviously invested a lot into my gym where I take a lot of my clients, but I also have these set of adjustable dumbbells. Adjustable dumbbells are great for home gyms because they don't take up a lot of space and it can be easily progressively overloaded. There's a reason why in this form factor is that I got the TrueLap dumbbells, which essentially have 26 dumbbells in one. It starts off with 8.5 pounds, and I'm gonna share with you guys how I would progress. For example, a classic exercise, which we call a bicep curl, is that what I'll do is I'll start off with some sort of baseline weight. So let's say if I pull out a weight, I now have 8.5 pounds in my hand, and now I'm going to be progressively overloading it. So let's say I give myself an arbitrary range of 8 to 12 repetitions. This is very common with a lot of our clients, is that we'll set them up on a program and that we're going to give them a certain repetition range. So if you are interested in any sort of one-to-one coaching, we'll leave a QR code up here, and that way you'll be able to apply and also book in for a free consultation to see if our coaching program is right for you and how we can build a custom plan to get you out of pain and get your body stronger. So with looking at the 8.5 pounds, is that I'm gonna give myself an arbitrary value of just 8 to 12 repetitions. So let's say I get to 10 repetitions. So that's what I'm gonna mark for this day. Let's say that today is a Monday, so I'm going to stay at that. Now, the next week after that, let's say you wanna continue to progress that exercise. So if I say I'm gonna do 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, what I'm gonna aim for now is at least 12 repetitions, because I did 3 sets of 10 at 8.5 pounds, and now I gotta progress something. So when we progress our repetitions, we progress what we call volume. Okay, so I'm gonna get up to 12 repetitions. Let's say I get to 12. Now I'm gonna do that for another 3 sets. Now what we do here is the week after, what are we going to do? We're gonna give our arbitrary range that we gave, which was 8 to 12 reps. Now, since I'm at that upper repetition range, what I don't wanna do is try to get into that 15 or even 20 range. There is a time and place for when we wanna enter the higher rep ranges, but when we're thinking about actually just building more muscle mass, which is called hypertrophy. Now we want to think, well, shoot, I'm already at the upper rep range. So now I'm going to progress the weight instead. So I'm going to put the weights back in, and now I'm going to reach for a 12 pounder. The TrueLap dumbbells goes up in 3.5 pound increments. When you get other dumbbells, they may go up in 2.5 to 5 pound increments. So now that I have a heavier weight, that's now going to stimulate the tissues, the bicep, in a different way. So now it's going to be increased intensity. Intensity comes in the form of weight or even speed. But now I'm going to aim for that same thing. Now I'm going to aim for a range between 8 to 12. And let's say I get there. Now, what you want to do is if you have any sort of room or wiggle room to increase your volume, you're going to do that the next time around. However, whenever you get to the upper limit of your rep range, then you're going to increase the weight. And this can be applied to many exercises, from shrugs to lateral raises, to bent over rows, to then doing squats as well. So pretty much you can kind of stay to this routine long term. And a question that I do get sometimes is, hey, you know, at a certain point, do you just continue to increase the volume and increase the weight? And I'm gonna leave that up to you, because it's kind of a depend situation. I'm always thinking of tapping out my genetic limits. If I want to continue to preserve my muscle mass as I get older, I want to do my best to try to inch every little bit out of my body in order to keep progressing a certain exercise. I understand that given people's height, stature, weight, genetics, ethnicities, is that we're all born differently. So some people will have greater capacity to build more muscle mass. Some people in the same way have greater capacity to swim a mile, right? Certain people are born differently. So I would say that strength training, especially if you do have any chronic pain, is important for everybody. Everybody should be on some sort of concept of progressive overload in order to build tissues, right? So for example, if you had chronic neck pain, you should be on a progressive overloading program in order to strengthen your neck. If you had any chronic shoulder pain, you should be on a progressive overloading program to strengthen your chest muscles, your lats, and everything surrounding the shoulder, and doing that in a way that's systematic. And I am teaching you a systematic way to progressively overload and to build muscle mass, okay? Given also, obviously, that there's sleep and nutrition and other things that we may not talk about during this pain relief series, but this is stuff that we actually do give to our clients as a more comprehensive and a more holistic way on how to build strength so that you can bulletproof your body from pain as well as from injury. And that's what I got for you guys today. I really hope that you're finding a lot of this very helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to always comment below. I will reply to you personally. And also, if you're getting a lot of value from the Pain Free Challenge, along with a lot of the other content that we've already posted, feel free to subscribe, click that bell notification. That way you won't miss out on any of our new content, because we do post videos weekly Mondays at 5 p.m. So tomorrow, day 5, we're going to wrap everything together. We're going to consolidate everything into one plan. I feel you. I feel that a lot of times when you're busy, when time is not your own, it's very hard to put this all together into one formulated plan. Tomorrow, we're going to wrap all 4 days into one, allowing you to strategize and to build out something a little bit more custom to you. And I'm also going to provide a few different scenarios and bonuses and things that I think you'll really love. So make sure to stay tuned for tomorrow, day 5, and I look forward to seeing you then. Have a good one.